The Summary of the View by the Mahasiddha Naropa. I pay homage to Vajradakini. I pay homage to the Omniscient One, the Supreme of Refuges, the Lord of Beings. Following scripture and logic, I will summarize and make clear the principal meaning. The phenomenon of appearance and existence, because they appear and are clear, do not exist apart from the self-knowing mind. They are like the experiences of self-knowing. If appearances were not the mind, there would be no connection between them and thus no appearances. This there is the clear presentation of the relative. It was taught, all phenomena dwell in the mind. The main practice of the Dharma is the mind. Even if one examines by analyzing with logic and so on, whether the natural luminosity of the mind is one with or is different from the stains of incidental thoughts, it will be an extremely great profundity. Because it is very profound, the wise analyze it. Even if it is taught, it is not written down. That emptiness is knowledge. It is the mind. The bodhicitta also is this. The Buddha family also is this. The Buddha nature is this. Great bliss also is this. Through experiencing the taste of it exactly as it is, knowing mantra also is this. Method and wisdom is this. The profound and the vast are this. Samantabhadra and his consort are this. Wisdom and the expanse of appearance and emptiness should be known to be primordial Buddhahood. Self-knowing knowledge, with its stains, does not depend on anything else, and therefore is that self-arising wisdom. Because it is knowledge, it is clear. Because it is self-knowing, it is non-conceptual. Self-knowing cannot possibly conceive itself, because it is not conceivable. The mind is non-conceptual. It is clarity, non-conceptuality, and wisdom, like the wisdom of the Sugatas. Therefore, as to the mind's nature and luminosity, it was taught, it should be realized that the mind is wisdom, and one should not seek Buddhahood elsewhere. However, that mind is afflicted by the incidental stains of thoughts, like water, gold, and space. There are phases of purity and impurity, but within the luminosity nature of the mind, there is not even a hair tip of substance, just like lotuses that grow in the sky, because in that way existence has no reality. There is also not the slightest reality to non-existence, because they are interdependent. If this side has no reality, neither does the other. Because they are interdependent. It is not both existent and non-existent, because they have been separately refuted. It is neither existent nor non-existent, because existence and non-existence are contradictory. Neither is it beings, neither is it not beings. Therefore it is beyond all conceptualization. Thus, there is the clear presentation of the ultimate. it was taught, the mind dwells in space. The self-knowing knowledge that is free of conceptualization appears while empty, and is empty as it appears. Therefore, it is inseparability of appearances and emptiness, like the moon and water. Thus, there is the clear presentation of non-duality. It was taught, and it also does not dwell in space. The self-knowing knowledge, which is free from conceptualization, that is what samsara itself is. That is what nirvana also is. That is what the middle way also is. That is what has to be seen. That is what has to be meditated on. That is what has to be attained. That is what the valid truth is. Cause, method, and result, renowned as the three continuums, and renowned as the basis, path, and result, are its phases. It is known as the root consciousness, as the universal ground, as the aggregation that lasts as long as samsara, as the dependent, and so on. Wondrous, the 6 classes of beings and the other manifestations of the mind and its stains extend beyond the limits of space, as the inconceivable suffering and delusions of samsara. The self-knowing knowledge, free from conceptualizations, free from the stains of thoughts, is the unlocated nirvana. Vajrasattva too is this. The 6 Buddhas too are this. The 6 classes of beings too are this. Manjushri Kumara is this. Varochana is this. The Dharmakaya, the great bliss, and union too are this. The 4th empowerment too is this. The innate joy is this. The pure nature is this. These and most other renowned terms and categories in the sutras and the tantras are dependent upon this, as logic with its application also applies to this. Wondrous, the stainless mind's emanated rupakaya include the completely pure realms, the emanated mandalas, and so on, the greatly wondrous emanations that appear throughout and beyond the limits of space. The ignorant, non-Buddhist, the Tirthikas, say that the mind is Atman and Purusha, and so on, engaging with an ocean of mistaken traditions. In our own tradition, the Shravakas, the Pratyeka Buddhas, and the Chintamatrins are attached to the duality of perceiver and percept, and correctly conceptualize non-duality. There are also the truth and the false, and other traditions that have entered into a net of concepts. Thus, if there is an unmistaken view, the meditation and conduct will be pure. In accord with the truth, and enlightenment will be attained, like a horse that is shown at a race course. When one is not in accord with the true view, meditation and conduct become delusion. One will not attain the real result. One will be like a blind man who has no eyes. The true meaning is deep, like the ocean. How can my mind, like a frog in a well, stir and find its depths? I ask the wise one to forgive my errors, though whatever good karma I have created, may fortunate pure beings eliminate all the stains of delusion, and give rise to the wisdom of realization. This completes the summary of Naropa's view. This is from the mouth of Pandita Janana. It was received, translated, and corrected by Marpa the translator.